Śrīla Gurudeva ki jai. Śrīla Gurudeva ki jai. Śrīla Gurudeva Tirobhav Titi Viraha Mahotsav ki jai. Nitya Vishnu Vishnupad Ashtatara Shatashmad Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Vaman Goswami Mahārāja ki jai. Tadiya Shubha Vyasa Puja Maha Mahotsav ki jai. Nitya Vishnu Vishnupad Ashtatara Shatashmad Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Swami Mahārāja Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Nitya Vishnu Vishnupad Ashtatara Shatashmad Śrīla Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Goswami Mahārāja ki jai. Nitya Vishnu Vishnupad Ashtatara Shatashmad Śrīla Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. Nitya Vishnu Maha Bhagavat Śrīla Gokṣaras Babaji Mahārāja ki jai. Nitya Vishnu Śrīla Satchidananda Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai. Nitya Vishnu Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Śrīla Jagannath Das Babaji Mahārāja ki jai. Shri Rupa Nugaudiya Guru Varga ki jai. Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopal Bhatta Das Raghunath Shara Goswami Prabhu ki jai. Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki jai. Namacharya Śrīla Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Kshetra Mandala Gaura Mandala Vraja Mandala Mathura Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Sarva Abhishya Pradata Giriraj Maharaj ki jai. Shri Radha Kunda Shama Kund ki jai. Shri Mura Devi Ganga Devi ki jai. Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki jai. Shri Bhakti Devi ki jai. Shri Purnamasi Yoga Maya ki jai. Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Samagata Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Śrīla Gurudeva ki jai. Shinitaya Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bo. So I just went to GurudevMemories.com into the Homages section, and I just selected a few memories. I don't know if I'll be able to read all the ones that I selected because I don't want to miss any of the class here. There's so many Vaishnavas came over from all over. This mat is completely packed, all the rooms, and yeah, I was amazed how many people came. So anyhow, I'm just going to start now, but I might stop in the middle sometime. I might not get through all these. All right, just sharing my screen. All right, let's. So this first homage is by Parivrājaka Maharaj. He's one of, I'm not sure if he's Śrīla Vāmana Goswami Maharaj's first disciple. No, he's not his first disciple, but one of the first disciples, I think, or maybe first sannyas disciple. Anyways, he's very senior. This is his offering to Gurudev. I think in our Sangha right now, he's probably the most senior devotee we have. So, Unforgettable Memories. I offer unlimited Daṇḍavat Pranāma at the lotus feet of most revered Diksha Guru, Nitya Pravishta Om Vishnupad Śrīmad Bhaktivedānta Vaman Goswami Mahārāja, and also to my revered Shiksha Guru, Nitya Pravishta Om Vishnupad Śrīmad Bhaktivedānta Vaman Goswami Mahārāja. Absence from the one who consoles. This is from his Puṣpāñjali spoken in the Viraha Sabha, 1st January 2011. Today we have assembled here at Shri Keshavji Gaudiya Math Navadvip with heavy hearts. I had heard the word viraha, separation, but never had experienced it in the very core of my heart like I am today. When Srila Mahārājji was present, I could not really understand anything about the pain of separation, even though I had observed many disappearance days. After the disappearance of my Guru Pada Padma, Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Vaman Goswami Maharaj, we understood something about separation, but our heart did not break completely. Srila Maharaj was there to console us. Don't worry, he would say. In separation from him, try to follow his instructions and ideals as best you can. By doing so, you'll understand the actual meaning of separation. But now, who is there to console us? The following is his written offering. One who nourished us by his affection. Who will experience separation? He who has an extremely close relationship with someone. Only that person will experience separation, no one else. For such a long time, Śrīla Mahārāja made us stand by maintaining us with his affection. When we came to the mat, our Guru Maharaj gave us Diksha and then said, "Go to Sri Bhaktivedānta Narayan Maharaj and learn everything from him. Hear Harikatha from him. Have the same degree of faith in him as you have in me, not a fraction less." Diksha Guru and Shiksha Guru are both equal. There is no difference between them, but their roles differ. The Diksha Guru gives Diksha mantras, while teachings of the scriptures and instructions on how to advance in spiritual life
7 o'clock.
and how to enter deep bhajan are imparted by Shiksha Guru. Therefore, Diksha Guru and Shiksha Guru are equal. It was with this conception that Guru Maharaj would take us to Śrīla Maharaj Ji and say to him, "Maharaj, on your order I have given them spiritual birth by giving them Diksha, but the responsibility of imparting all teachings related to sadhan and bhajan and of nourishing and maintaining them with parental affection is on you. The responsibility to chastise and correct them is on Srila Trivikram Maharaj." And this is how Śrīla Maharaj used to maintain us. Previously, there was no substantial difference of opinion among us, God brothers. This only came later, and this is our misfortune. He bestowed spiritual auspiciousness. Śrīla Maharaj Ji would speak to all who came before him about the necessity of performing bhajan. Whenever he met with someone, he did not ask about any mundane topics, but rather asked, "How is your bhajan? Speak some verse." For the purpose of making everyone expert in speaking on scripture, he used to give us Harikatha in the morning, afternoon, and evening, 3 times a day, and had us memorize appropriate shlokas so that we could quote in speaking Harikatha. He endeavored so much for our spiritual welfare. Śrīla Maharaj's heart was very simple, full of deep anurag for Srimati Radhika. He would often say, "Except for bhakti, there is nothing else worth desiring in this world. Upon attaining bhakti, all else is achieved." He also used to say, "Take shelter of Śrīla Gurudeva with your body, mind, and words, and you will always be successful." He was an expert bhajananandi. Just by receiving darshan of his lotus face, all our sufferings used to go away and a desire to chant Harinam arose. It is for this reason that the scriptures state, "Jahara darshana mukhe aise Krishna nam, tahara janiho tumi Vaishnava pradhan." Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya-lila 1674. A topmost Vaishnav is he whose very presence makes others chant the holy name of Krishna. A topmost preacher in the line of Srila Rupa Goswami. All transcendental qualities come of their own accord to those in whose hearts bhakti is present. All power to attract others manifests in them. Srila Bhaktivedānta Narayan Goswami Maharaj caused the current of Vrajaras Bhakti to flow in such a way that everyone became attracted to him automatically. That is why Sri Dipak Bhatta, the descendant of Sri Narayan Bhatta of Unchagaon, in the village of Lalitasaki, and Guru of places like Varshana, invited all Vaishnavas to his village, and then, in the presence of them all, he honored Srila Maharaj with the title Yugacharya. And Srila Maharaj Ji really was the Yugacharya. Even in his old age, he preached the message of Sriman Mahaprabhu throughout all the regions of the world. There is no region he did not go. The main subject of his preaching was Unata Ujvala Bhav, or worship in the mood of a manjari in the line of Srila Rupa Goswami. He used to say, "Srila Bhaktivedānta Swami Maharaj has cut the jungles by his preaching. Now I shall go there and preach his main mission." In the last days of his manifest presence, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada also used to lament, "My whole life was spent in cutting jungles, and I could not give what I came to give." What was that thing? Unata Ujjvala Ras, or the line of Srila Rupa Goswami. Srila Maharaj preached this alone. Only after hearing from Srila Maharaj about Rupanuga and Raghunuga Bhakti again and again did I understand something about the speciality of Rupanuga Bhakti. One who taught non-enviousness. Once Bhakta Grima Prabhu, Advai Gyan Prabhu, 2 other brahmacharis and I went to preach in Shillong. One day, Bhakta Grima Prabhu went to the shop of a Maravadi merchant, or Bhiksha, and he gave him 5 rupees. But Bhakta Grim Prabhu said that he would not take less than 10 rupees and went for Bhiksha elsewhere. When he returned, he saw that the shop of that Maravadi had caught fire and that most of his goods were burned. Bhakta Grim Prabhu went back to where we were staying, and while telling us about the incident, said that the Maravadi had been struck by his curse. Later, when we returned to Sri Devananda Gaudiya Math and told Srila Maharaj about the preaching, we also told him about that incident. Srila Maharaj listened to everything and did not say a word. But that evening, while giving Harikatha, he asked everyone, "How can we understand if our heart is becoming purified or not?" When none of us responded, he himself gave the answer. When we are not disturbed, even when all circumstances are there to agitate us, when we are insulted by someone but do not request God to punish that person, meaning we do not curse him. Rather, we think that such insult is due to our past actions. Only then can we understand that our heart is being purified. Through this Harikatha, Srila Maharaj imparted the teaching that those who desire to become sadhus should not even think of cursing somebody. Intolerant when proper etiquette is transgressed. Srila Maharaj Ji never tolerated transgression of maryada or proper etiquette. When we were in Devananda Gaudiya Math, we used to see how at noon, prasadam, Srila Maharaj Ji would come from his bhajan kutir to where the devotees were honoring prasad and look to see whether or not they were sitting in line according to seniority. If he saw some infraction, he would first correct that person and then sit where he would sit to honor prasadam. He used to say, if someone joined the mat one day before you, he has heard Harikatha for 1 day more than you and performed 1 day more of Guru Seva. By considering him superior and giving him respect, we will attain auspiciousness. One who imparted the teachings of Sri Shikshashtakam. In Navadvip, Srila Maharaj Ji used to explain Shikshashtakam very nicely in his morning classes, and also used to make us remember its verses. Shikshashtakam has been personally spoken by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He would say, therefore, all the devotees should adorn themselves with this necklace. Then he would explain the second verse, Nam Nam Akari Bahuta. He said, in this verse, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has invested all his Shakti or power. All his power means to perform bhajan while absorbed in the mood of his Sarup Shakti, Srimati Radhika. One who did not see the faults of others. Once, Srila Maharaj Ji was giving Harikatha regarding Vaishnava Aparad, and he described all of the offenses to the Vaishnavas. After Harikatha, I questioned him, Maharaj Ji, after hearing of the offenses that can be committed to Vaishnavas, it seems that we shall not be able to reside in the mat, even for a day. How then will we attain auspiciousness? In response, Srila Maharaj replied, Guru and Vaishnavas are very merciful. They do not see the faults of others. If they were to do so, then nobody would be able to reside in the mat. One who appreciated ideal character. Once, 8 to 10 brahmacharis went with Srila Maharaj to preach in the area of Sundara-gopāla, Bengal. When we crossed the river, the boatman asked us to step down. On the bank, there was a slush that went for some distance. Somehow, with much trouble, we crossed it with Maharaj Ji. He told us, your Gurudev, Pujyapad Vaman Maharaj, used to take so much trouble to come here to preach every year. This is Guru Seva and Bhakti. Expert in the conceptions of the Sampradaya. Once, under the guidance of Srila Maharaj Ji, 20 to 30 brahmacharis and 8 to 10 sannyasis went with him to preach in Medinipur. The subject of the Harikatha there was, can Hari Bhajan be performed by those who have taken Diksha from a Kulu Guru? In response, Śrīla Maharaj said, Sampradaya vihinayo mantraste nishpala mrita. A mantra is useless if it is received through a bona fide if it is not received through a bona fide sampradaya. Padma Purana. There are only 4 pure Vaishnava sampradayas in Kali Yuga. Those who desire to attain bhakti should take shelter of any one of these 4 sampradayas and perform bhajan. Only then is it possible to attain perfection in bhajan. Especially in Kali Yuga, one should take shelter of the sampradaya that has been accepted by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and perform bhajan while accepting his ideal. If the Kulaguru is from a bona fide Vaishnava sampradaya and properly follows the conceptions, practices, and etiquette of that sampradaya, then it is okay. Otherwise, as advised in the scriptures, one should leave the Kulaguru and take shelter of a Mahabhagavat from a bona fide sampradaya, and from him again take diksha. One who possessed divine capabilities. Whenever Śrīla Maharajji danced during Navadvip Dham Parikrama, all who witnessed it would attain unprecedented happiness. Upon returning from the Parikrama, all the devotees would sit together to honor prasadam, but the brahmacharis were sometimes so tired that they did not come to distribute prasad. If this ever came to Śrīla Maharaj's attention, he would immediately come out of his bhajan kutir and summon 1 or 2 brahmacharis, calling their name. Upon hearing his voice, all the brahmacharis would automatically come from wherever they were, and shortly after, prasad would be distributed to thousands of people. This is an example of his divine capabilities. It would not happen on the call of any other Maharaj. Śrīla Maharaj would not just chastise or correct us, but by the ideal he himself set and his Harikatha, he prepared us for spiritual life. Shri Sachinandan Gaur Hari fulfills the desire of Bhakta Bandhav Śrīla Maharaj. One night in Sri Devananda Gaudiya Math during Navadvip Parikrama, thousands of devotees sat down for prasadam. Rice, dal, sabji, and so forth had just been served, and then it started to rain so heavily it was extraordinary. When this news reached Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Maharajji, Srila Guru Maharaj started to chant the Nishringa mantra, and Srila Maharajji came down to the pilgrims while chanting Jai Sachinandan Gaur Hari. He raised his arms and asked the pilgrims to also loudly chant Jai Sachinandan Gaur Hari, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Gaur. Everyone did so, and instantly it stopped raining on the temple premises. But to our surprise, the torrential rain continued beyond the 4 walls of the temple. There was even water all around the mat, but not even 1 drop of rain fell in the temple. Upon witnessing this miracle, all of the devotees and pilgrims were stunned. The next year, more pilgrims took part in our mat's parikrama, having heard about this. One who developed Sri Devananda Gaudiya Math. Whatever positive development took place in Sri Devananda Gaudiya Math was due to the mercy of Śrīla Maharajji. He gave the entire responsibility of the construction to me. According to his instructions, the dharmashala, school building, bhajan kutir, temple hall, and so forth were constructed. He wanted to do much more, but could not due to providence. One with firm determination for the service of Hari, Guru, and Vaishnavas. Śrīla Maharajji was an expert operator. He used to give respect to all Vaishnavas and gentle people of Sri Daṇḍavat and Sri Brajendranandana. Whenever the mat experienced any difficulty, we would all become fearful, but Śrīla Maharajji used to easily solve even the most difficult problems very quickly. He would say, sincerely perform Hari Bhajan and serve Hari, Guru, and Vaishnavas. By doing so, you will never encounter any problem, but the moment you think of your own happiness, various types of problems will arise before you. Don't be worried about your future, because your spiritual guardians, Sri Guru and the Vaishnavas, are worrying for that. That's so beautiful. Don't be worried about your future, because your spiritual guardians, Sri Guru and the Vaishnavas, are worrying for that. All auspiciousness is attained only by following in the footsteps of Guru and Vaishnavas. Once in Sri Devananda Gaudiya Math, Navadvip, during the month of Kartik, Śrīla Maharajji regularly sang Radha Kripa Kataksha, Nandanandanashtakam, and Damodarashtakam in such a sweet voice that all devotees who heard him were spellbound. After Kirtan, he would give class on Dhammadarashtak and Sri Brihad Bhagavatamrita. In speaking on Sri Brihad Bhagavatamrita, Śrīla Maharaj explains the hierarchy of devotees, and in conclusion he said that there is no need to roam everywhere like Gopakumar. Instead of wasting time, one should directly enter the Rupanuga line of Vraj, under the guidance of Sri Guru and Vaishnavas. One who satisfied everyone's heart. Śrīla Maharaj Ji has renovated many pastime places in Sri Brajmandal. Many Vaishnavas used to come to hear Harikatha from him, whether they knew of his glories or not. He used to give such sweet answers to each person's question that their heart was satisfied. All who heard his Harikatha became attracted to him. Many sannyasis and brahmacharis from ISKCON also came to hear his Harikatha, which was full of lofty moods, and were satisfied. Even the plants and trees of Vraj are related to him. Once during Brajmandal Parikrama, Śrīla Maharaj Ji and the Parikrama party were staying in Varshana. In those days, many Bengali pilgrims attended that Parikrama. One of those pilgrims used to defecate under one particular tree every day. After 2 days, that tree appeared before Śrīla Maharaj in a dream that said, "I am performing bhajan here in the form of a tree, and a certain person from your Parikrama party has been defecating under me for the past couple of days." When Śrīla Maharaj gave katha the next day, he said, "In Vrajmandal, all the trees are great personalities performing bhajan. In our Parikrama party, there is a certain person who is defecating under one of those trees. I request that person to ask forgiveness from that tree." As he spoke this, tears flowed from his eyes. In this way, through the medium of his katha, Śrīla Maharaj taught that the bushes, trees, plants, and everything else in Brajmandal is transcendental, and that one should not try to harm them in any way. Cutting the bushes to use as daktun, a twig to clean the teeth, or cutting the trees for any other use as an offense. All the plants of Brajmandal are performing bhajan. They are not the objects of our enjoyment. Hearing this, that person cleaned the place surrounding the tree, paid his obeisances to the tree, and asked for its forgiveness. One who fulfilled the innermost desire of his Gurudev. When my Guru Maharaj heard that everyone was requesting Śrīla Maharaj Ji to go abroad to preach, he told him, "Maharaj Ji, you should certainly go abroad to preach. This is the desire of our Gurudev, Śrīla Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj. Gurudev bestows unlimited mercy upon you. Fulfill his innermost desire." Later, when Śrīla Maharaj went abroad, he sent my Guru Maharaj the details of 1 month of his preaching. Hearing of his extensive preaching, my Guru Maharaj became very pleased. Wherever Śrīla Maharaj Ji went, he became very happy when people had pictures of my Gurudev, Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Vaman Goswami Maharaj, as well as Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Chavikra Maharaj and Param Gurudev Śrīla Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj on the altar. He was a bold preacher. In the matter of speaking the truth, he feared no one. And he gave affection to everyone, be that person a resident of the Math or a householder. Wherever Śrīla Maharaj went preaching, the devotees of that place remember his mercy and qualities, even today. Attaining Śrīla Maharaj's mercy only possible by following his instructions. Śrīla Maharaj was affectionate to everyone and encouraged everyone to perform Hari Bhajan. He had disappeared from this world, but from the scriptures we know that Sri Guru and the Vaishnavas do not go anywhere. They are forever present and have only disappeared from our mundane eyes. But at the same time, separation from them is very difficult to tolerate. If we are able to follow his instructions, however, he will be pleased wherever he is and will bestow his mercy upon us from there. In offering my Puṣpāñjali at his lotus feet, I can only say that I have committed many offenses at his feet. May he mercifully forgive me and give me blessings. This alone is my prayer. Bhaktivedānta Parivrājaka Maharaj. He is one of the first Diksha disciples of Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Vaman Goswami Maharaj and has done long-standing services to the mission under the guidance of his Shiksha Gurudev, Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Narayana Goswami Maharaj. Published in the Raised Harmonist for edition 23, first disappearance date. anniversary of the Kartik 2011. Harikatha is going on in the temple room right now. I kind of don't want to miss it. Maybe I'll just read a little bit more. I'll read this offering of Umadidi. Actually, give me 1 second. I'm just curious who's speaking at the moment. I'm just gonna, 1 second. I think I'm just gonna continue reading. All right. So this is the homage written by Umadidi. Also one of our most senior disciples in our Sangha. Yeah. Okay. A heartfelt offering of flowers. Written on February 3rd, 2009. No, never mind. Okay. From a lowly person at the lotus feet of my Śrīla Gurudeva on the occasion of his appearance Vyas Puja day. I offer my pranam to the lotus feet of my beloved Diksha Guru, Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Śrīmad Bhaktivedānta Vāman Gosai Mahārāja, and to the lotus feet of my Shiksha Guru, who is non-different from the Diksha Guru, Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Śrīmad Bhaktivedānta Narayan Goswami Mahārāja. In order to remove the darkness of ignorance and bestow the light of transcendental knowledge into the heart of the living entities of this world, on this day, my most worshipful Śrīla Gurudeva, Om Vishnupad Śrīmad Bhaktivedānta Narayan Goswami Mahārāja, made his auspicious appearance. Therefore, this date, being exceedingly pure and auspicious, has become the most venerable and worshipful for us all. It is the advice of our Guru Varga that Śrī Gurudeva is not only to be glorified on the date of his appearance or disappearance, but rather at every step of our life. His remembrance and glories remain ever awake within our hearts, and that we not forget him, even for a moment. This is real Śrī Guru Puja. Nevertheless, on the auspicious appearance days of our Guru Varga, it is certainly appropriate to glorify them in a special manner. By remembrance of Hari, Guru, and Vaishnavas, obstacles on the path of bhakti are destroyed. Vaishnavera gunagan korile jivera tan. In other words, by glorifying the Vaishnavas, the living entities are delivered from their bondage to material existence. Yet who can glorify the Vaishnavas? That qualified person who has developed sambandha gyan and who has made some progress in the process of bhajan can genuinely sing the glories of Śrī Gurudeva. For the bound living entities, however, repeating what they have heard in the Shrota Parampara cleanses the heart and purifies the tongue. He who has bestowed upon me instructions on service to Śrī Guru, the conceptions of those following in the path of Śrī Rupa, secrets of the practice of bhajan, and instructions on service to the divine couple. He who has sown the seed of the paramarthic objective of the living entity in the line of Śrīmad Mahaprabhu, manifesting as a desire for greed to be a Palyadasi of Śrīmati Radharani, at the lotus feet of that instructing spiritual master, Om Vishnupad Śrīmad Bhaktivedānta Narayan Goswami Mahārāja, do I fall unlimited times. My repeated prayer unto his lotus feet, which grants fearlessness, is that within my heart, Nishta may be awakened in those lotus feet. May my only objective be to please Śrī Guru and the Vaishnavas. And the words of Srila Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur, because I am deprived and fallen, because of my own weaknesses, not all of my Guru Padma's teachings have entered my heart. But in order to speak all the teachings that, by my Guru Padma's mercy, have somehow entered through the pathways of my ears, may I possess millions upon millions of tongues, millions upon millions of heads, and millions upon millions of years to live. Then I will sing about the unparalleled compassion and benevolence, the Amando Doya Doya of my Guru Padma throughout the unlimited universes with millions of tongues and millions of heads for millions of years. Only then will I have truly performed Guru Puja. Only then will he be pleased with me and shower his perpetual blessings upon me, so that I can sing the glory of his matchless compassion with another million tongues. On that day, I will finally be liberated from singing. About fleeting illusory matters. On that day, I will be released from the captivity of all the mundane teachings of this world. According to the words of Śrīla Guru Maharaj, this is Śrīla Vāman Goswami Maharaj, if for the glorification of Hari, Guru, and Vaishnavas, the 7 oceans were to become ink, the peaks of the Himalayas were to become pens, and the earth were to become paper, still, it would be impossible to properly describe their glories, for they, like the sun and moon, are situated in their own wondrous splendor. Wow. On this most auspicious day, at the lotus feet of my instructing spiritual master, my prayer is only this. May my only sustenance be to serve you with a sincere heart, exclusively for your pleasure, and in some birth, by following your mood, your bhava anumai, may I obtain the good fortune of attaining the service of the most desired goddess. Yogata vichare kichu nahi pai, tomar karuna sal. When I look for my own eligibility, I find that I have none. Your compassion is the essence of my existence. In the words of Śrīla Guru Maharaj, Ki diye pujibo tomar charan, bhakti kichu nai, bhakti chandan kotai pai. With what shall I worship your feet? For I have no bhakti. From where shall I obtain the sandalwood of devotion for worship of these, your lotus feet? Today, on your auspicious appearance day, my heart is tossed up, seized by the intense and unbearable agony of separation. Today I have been deprived of your always sweet, soft, smiling lotus face, your auspicious, merciful glance, with your eyes full of affection bestowing your blessings upon me. I have been deprived. Today I have become devoid of shelter. I have become shelterless. Very cleverly and silently, you ascertain the auspicious appearance day of my Sri Gurupad Padma as appropriate for entering into your eternal service to Śrīyuktā Umā. Having performed a glorious and auspicious departure, Shubha Vijayatra, you have become invisible to the eyes of this unfortunate person forever. My heart is overwhelmed with the intense agony of separation. In this condition, this distressed person prays to your lotus feet, which grant fearlessness, that from the Nitya Dham, please shower upon me but one drop of your compassion. Your compassion and mercy alone is my sole sustenance. It is my only support, my only hope. Aspiring for the service of Sri Hari, Guru, and the Vaishnavas, unqualified, fallen, and wretched, ayogya dīnahin, dāsī. Published in Ways of the Harmonist for the Vyasa Puja edition 2011. Oh, wow, that is... This, the next one I thought to read is Padmanābha Mahārājas, but it's really long. I don't know if we have enough time, because then I won't be able to read any of the other ones. Maybe I should read this one later. You know what? I'm just going to read it. A supremely rare treasure. February 3rd, 2019. Is this too long? Okay, you know what? I'm going to read this another time, this one, because then I won't be able to read any others. So I'm just going to start with this one. I offer my Daṇḍavat Pranāma. This is written, a poem written by Brajendranandana. I offer my Daṇḍavat pranams lakhs and lakhs of times at the lotus feet of my initiating spiritual master, Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Ashtakarashata Śrīmad Bhaktivedānta Swami Prabhupada, and the same at the lotus feet of my Shiksha and Sannyas Guru, Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Ashtakarashata Śrīmad Bhaktivedānta Narayana Goswami Mahārāja. Praying for their mercy, I offer this meager attempt at a glorification. Tasting moods of his beloved, with her luster golden colored. Only once in Brahma's day, Krishna comes with holy name, imbued with prem so rare and given freely everywhere. Through Bhagavat Parampara system, Gaur revealed his Manobhishtam, empowering Sri Rupa's line, mission handed down through time. Then a period of darkness came, Vaishnavas held in much disdain. Who would come to set things right? Seventh Goswami had the might. To carry on what he'd begun, he sent his ray of Vishnu, son, who gathered round him many moons, Bhakti current save us from ruins. Soon delivered far and wide, smashing Kali's foolish pride. In every nation of the world, Gauranga's banner was unfurled. Swami A.C. Bhaktivedānta fulfilled desire of Sri Siddhanta. Being empowered with Nitai's Shakti, he brought untouchables to Bhakti. Our Prabhupada's work had only started, miracle done, then he departed. But he called his dearmost friend, requesting him his hands to lend. There just was not sufficient time to fully train them in our line. Don't let them be diverted, kindly help him, he asserted. Mission transferred heart to heart, soon the friend would do his part. 20 years without our master, Guru's falling, near disaster. Many jivas led astray, time for friends to save the day. O Gurudev, had you not appeared before us with your rain of mercy shower, who else would have cared enough to end our darkest hour? Just as when your Swamiji traversed the planet Earth, you traveled far and wide and gave our creepers renewed birth. You touched countless crying hearts by your affectionate loving dealings. Your every gesture, steeped in prem, aroused our bhakti feelings. You explained true Gauravani as well as what is Rupanuga, exposing deviant teachings that arise in Kali Yuga. Just like Nrsimha Guru, in whose lineage you've come. Sahajyas and bogus Babajis, upon seeing you, they'd run. Had you not appeared before us, responding to hearts weeping? Who would tell the secret truths the Bhagavatam was keeping? The works of the Goswamis would be lost in course of time, but you tirelessly gave your life and soul to preserve Sri Rupa's line. Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav, you revealed in all his glory. How would all the world have known had you not told his story? Our master's heart's desire for us beyond his jungle clearing, you mercifully revealed to all who made the choice of hearing. You clarified our sadhya, and our hearts this goal will keep. But you cautioned, stay in anugatya, step by step, don't leap. Bringing countless souls so mercifully to Gaur and Krishna's dhams, you filled their hearts with sanskars of their many lila stans. With artists as your instrument, Shri Seva Kunj revealed, where Krishna serves Shri Radha and where at her feet he kneels. In trying to chant your glories, I feel foolish and pretentious, for I am just a fallen soul, and your glorious deeds are endless. One day the world will come to know the wondrous gifts you gave, and throngs of grateful souls will weep and chant, Jai Gurudev. At this very moment, the worst news has been imparted, and entering Nitya Lila, from our vision, you've departed. I had written many verses requesting you to stay, but your Radha's Palyadasi, and she's called you back today. Our creepers still need tending. There are many books to write, And now we have to carry on. It seems like the darkest night. But you told us to do bhajan and prepared us from the start. You said you'll never leave us. Please, please live within. Please live within my heart. For though you've trained your preachers very wonderfully, it's true. Dear Gurudev, there's no one who can take us to the place of you. From piles of ashes, of fragrant flowers, this is surely in your power. You change rocks to sparkling jewels. Won't you please transform this fool? Impossible to possible, you can do. Make me yours, please, through and through. Your fallen Brajendranandana das, Vanchakalpatarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhubhyevacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Okay, next one is, this is such a beautiful offering by Prāṇa-kiśora. He's also senior, like Brajendranandana, also senior disciple of Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Swami Prabhupada, and Shiksha disciple of Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Śrīla Goswami and Śrīla Gurudeva. This is one of my favorite homages, actually. A humble Puṣpāñjali at the lotus feet of my divine master. I offer my prostrated obeisances at the divine lotus feet of my Diksha Guru, His Divine Grace, Śrīmad Bhaktivedānta Swami Prabhupada. I offer my full Daṇḍavat pranams at the divine lotus feet of my Shiksha Guru, His Divine Grace, Śrīla Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Mahārāja. And finally, I offer my full prostrations at the divine lotus feet of my Shiksha Guru, His Divine Grace, Śrīmad Bhaktivedānta Narayana Goswami Mahārāja, Śrīla Gurudeva. Dearest and most beloved Śrīla Gurudeva, the year was 1978, and I used to dress Shri Radha Govinda in the New York temple. My godbrother would play a recording of a bhajan tape while we dressed and decorated Thakurji. The songs were captivating, Vi Babari Shesha, Jay Anilo Premadhana, Emona Durmati, Hari Haraye, etc. Every day I would dress Thakurji and listen to these sound vibrations, and something soon began to touch my heart. I inquired, who is the person singing these bhajans? And I was told it was you, Srila Narayan Maharaj, the devotee who placed Srila Prabhupada in Samadhi. Your voice was the sweetest and most powerfully captivating sound vibration I have ever heard. I was told by someone that you are the most renowned kirtaniya in the whole Gaudiya Math. Days passed into weeks, and weeks passed into months, and as a ritual, we would play that same recording each morning. Something must have gradually entered my heart, because at some point I made a quiet declaration to myself. I must find him and I must serve him. One year, in the early 1980s, I was in Vrindavan and eagerly began to inquire from the local devotees about how I could locate you. Go to Keshivji Gaudiya Math in Mathura, the place where Srila Prabhupada was given sannyas, I was told. Full of eagerness and like a small child, I embarked for Mathura, unaware of the profound change that was about to take place in my life. When I reached the top of the stairs in the Math, I could see the temple room and the dīdī doors. I looked to my left and I saw you sitting in a chair, looking straight ahead, chanting on your mala. No one else was there, and no one was looking at me. I just stood there staring at you, my heart beating faster and faster. I knew it was you, although I had never seen a photo of you. Something more than mystical was happening to me as I stood there for at least 2 or 3 minutes, just looking at you. A revelation came to my heart. You are again in the presence of Srila Prabhupada. I remembered some words from a tape of Pujyapad Srila Sridhar Maharaj that was being circulated. Follow your heart. Follow your heart. The heart will never lie. I approached you and paid my pranams. You looked at me with your bright blue eyes and suddenly smiled broadly, as if you had been sitting in that chair waiting for me. That was all it took. My heart was captured, stolen. Overwhelmed, I sat at your feet. It felt as if we had found each other again. In December of 1984, I came to stay for some time in Mathura. During this stay, you so kindly fulfilled my desire for seva to you. It was out of your causeless love and mercy that you did so. A large plot of land had been donated to your near Seva Kunj, and you brought me there to view it. We walked around the plot together, and you described to me in vivid detail what your plans were. You eventually pulled out a large paper with an intricate architectural drawing of the Mott plans in its entirety. Personally, to my own eyes, all I could presently see was an empty plot of land with a small hut that had been dilapidated by what appeared to have been a fire. When I left Mathura, that time my life changed drastically. For the next 6 years, I spent all of my time collecting to assist in the construction of Rupa Sanatan Gaudiya Math. I spoke of you to all my friends and godbrothers. Some became very eager to meet you. It was an amazing and exciting time. I felt such purpose to my life. We were always exchanging letters, and you would sometimes say, "Please come soon, or we will feel some difficulty." I would come 2 or 3 times a year with my various collections. Some of my friends, although not having yet met you, would also help generously. I used to love placing large stacks of rupees around your feet, and I used to love placing large stacks of rupees all around your feet and body as you sat on your bed. At those times, Naveen Prabhu would always tightly lock the door. Once you said, "I feel that I am just dreaming, that you have just placed all of these rupees on my bed. Will I wake up?" You were so kind and loving to me. It seems that you are always worried for me. I remember you embracing me and holding me tightly to your chest. I could feel your heart beating. One year, when I was leaving, it was wintertime. You noticed that I was wearing a short-sleeved shirt and said that I was like a vairagi and would be cold traveling through so many countries. To my shock, you removed your own saffron sweatshirt from your body and handed it to me, ordering me to put it on. A few brahmacharis were in the room, and they looked somewhat stunned. I refused to put the shirt on and said that instead I will place it on my altar and worship it. But you strongly insisted, so I squeezed into it. The sleeves came only to my forearms, and the chest and shoulders were so tight. I've never felt so warm in my whole life, so loved. You laughed and embraced me. I was at a loss for words. Years later, in the 90s, when I was with you at Rupa Sanatan Gaudiya Math, you pointed to the pillars and various structures and said, "You have done this." I would strongly object and say, "No, you have done this." Arguing back and forth, I finally said that Krishna had done it for you. Krishna can do only Prāṇa-kiśora, you replied, and then walked away laughing. Prāṇa-kiśora was my previous name, which means one who has been sent. In the late 80s and early 90s, a small devoted group had taken shelter of your lotus feet. You began to elaborately speak upon topics related to our ultimate sadhya. You described Radha Dasyam in all its splendor and glory. You gave us deep commentaries and sweet leelas from Raghavarma Chandrika, Ujjvala Nilamani, and other Goswami Granthas. You instructed us to perform bhajan with the single aim of ekantik Vraj Bhav, with an ekantik Vraj Bhav mood directed toward Radha Dasyam in the line of Sri Rupa. You warned us not to cultivate any activities that would create Purusha Bhav. You thoroughly clarified the Manobhishta and speciality of Srimad Mahaprabhu and the deep meaning of Rupa Nuga. It was like a new awakening for us, the next phase of our spiritual life, a continuation of what Srila Prabhupada had brought us. One second, I just need to close the door. It was like a new awakening for us, the next phase of our spiritual life, a continuation of what Srila Prabhupada had brought us. You were slowly changing us. You once told Champakalata, who used to come and stay in India for 4 to 6 months with our girls, I want to transform you so much that when Prāṇa-kiśora comes, he will no longer recognize you. Coming to the West, Prem Yuga, the second Hare Krishna explosion. None in your group of devotees ever conceived that you would leave India. When preparations were being made for your first Western tour, you called me to your room and told me that your Guru Maharaj had come to you and had instructed you to go and preach in the West. You also told me that you had promised Srila Prabhupada that you would preach in the West and that you would surely fulfill that promise. I will never forget how shortly thereafter we saw you disembarking out of the gate at LAX in 1996 for the first time. It was a completely surreal scene. Your small group of devotees were nervously chanting, walking here and there, anxiously waiting. A kirtan slowly began as the people started coming through the gate. Finally, we saw you and Naveen Krishna Brahmachari from a distance. You were shining like the warm morning sun. You smiled widely when you saw all of us. The moment was perfectly captured by Gokul Prabhu as he snapped a photo of Champakalata trying to place a garland on you, simultaneously weeping and laughing, utterly stunned to see you on Western soil. You and Naveen Prabhu were laughing to see this. It was back in 94 or 95 that Shripad Gaur Govinda Goswami Maharaj told his disciples that a Prem Yuga would be coming, and it would begin in 96. It was a prophecy that none of us understood at that time. It didn't take long after your arrival in 1996 to understand what Shripad Gaur Govinda Maharaj had seen in his transcendental vision. Soon after your arrival, a massive flood of bhakti would envelop the planet again, a second wave, a second explosion coming after the departure of our beloved Srila Prabhupada. I was fortunate that first year in that I was able to be your driver, and I drove you all over California. I was able to be with you here and there, and also throughout the Far East, the Far East, that's New York area, those first few years. I witnessed firsthand the transformations devotees would go through after hearing your Harikatha for only 2 or 3 days. I watched grown men and women, godbrothers and godsisters, stand before you, weep uncontrollably, and then fall at your feet. One devotee could only utter the words, "Thank you, weeping and weeping." You smiled lovingly, put your hand on his head and said, "I wanted this." Only a resident of Vraj, a parikar of Sri Radha, and an intimate associate of Sri Rupa could perform such magic on the hearts of devotees everywhere. Oh Gurudev, dear friend, dear master, you told me once that Srila Prabhupada was Satya Sankalpa. Whatever he said is bound to become truth. This was his nature and caliber. Gurudev, you are also Satya Sankalpa. One time in Mathura, you asked me if I was happy. I asked you why. You said that if I were not happy, that you would personally begin a court case against Krishna on the side of Srimati Radhika. You said that Krishna promised in the Bhagavad Gita that if his devotee serves him, then he must become happy forever. So if I were not happy, then you would take Krishna to court for not telling the truth. Just after this, I became a little emotional and told you that if I had to take birth again, I might be directed to another guru. I told you that I never wanted to be separated from you. You took my hands and promised me that you would find me. You said that we would always be together and that you would never let me go. You are Satya Sankalpa. Your words must become truth. They are all I have now to keep me alive. All other prospects are now bleak and meaningless. The only thing of value is to be with you eternally. Please find me, Gurudev. Please look for me. Even if I stray due to weakness, you are my only hope. Destitute and shattered, your Prāṇa-kiśora Das. Now this next offering is by Gopanandinī Mataji. She's also a disciple of Śrīla Prabhupada and Shiksha disciple of Śrīla Gurudeva. First of all, I offer my heartfelt Daṇḍavat Pranāma unto the lotus feet of my spiritual master, Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Ashtotara Shata Śrīmad Bhaktivedānta Swami Mahārāja, and the same heartfelt Daṇḍavat Pranāma unto the lotus feet of my beloved Shiksha Guru, Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Ashtotara Shata Śrīmad Bhaktivedānta Narayana Goswami Mahārāja. Dear Śrīla Gurudeva, please accept this small offering. 2 tears. I don't understand my fortune in having had your Sangha these past 15 years. How to repay my Prabhupada, I had asked. Your reply? Simply 2 tears. 2 tears? I asked, disbelieving, as a flood rolled down my face. Yes, you answered patiently. Just 2 tears are all it takes. No one invited me, you said. Hearts crying called me here. I didn't know anyone was listening, I thought. Is that the value of a tear? Often we would ask you if you could give us bhakti, give this jewel. Yes, I can, you'd promptly answer. Oh, but first join the crying school. When in New York you left me, and I did not know how I'd live, you said, each day 2 tears you send me, and 2 tears I will give. Send 2 tears to me, you told, but now you must be calm. And I will send 2 tears back to you from Sri Vrindavan Dham. Such tireless compassion as this, the world has never known. Now you have left our earthly vision. Krishna has claimed you as his own. The festival is over. Our lives will never be the same. But I know that you're not gone at all. You are only 2 tears away. Yours, Gopanandinī dāsī. And this is the last homage I want to read today. And if I get time later on, I will read Padmanābha Maharaj's. This is from Sundara-gopāla. He traveled with Gurudev all over the world for a long time, and was also very, working on Śrīla Gurudev's books from a very young age, actually, when he was just a teenager. He was with Gurudev. Śrīla Gurudev's extraordinary qualities, a few personal memories. October 16th. That's Sundara-gopāla. Śrīla Gurudev kindly and inexplicably allowed me to travel with him for 2.5 years, and also to attempt to serve him for 72 days before he left this world on 29 December 2010. Sadly, I lack spiritual vision. But even from my ordinary perspective, it was evident just how extraordinary our Śrīla Gurudev is. Tireless in the service of Param Gurudev. Usually people over the age of 60 retire, especially if they have worked very hard in their life. Śrīla Gurudev would be flown to Hawaii and other lovely holiday destinations. He could have relaxed there. Instead, up to the advanced age of 89, he worked relentlessly on translating and writing. During the time I traveled with him, I would enter his Devanagari corrections on the computer. Although a third of his age, I sometimes found it challenging to keep up with him. One day in the Philippines, some of the devotees traveling with Gurudev went on an afternoon excursion to see a volcano. By chance, I had stayed behind. When Gurudev saw me, he was very pleased. "We have not come here to enjoy sightseeing," he said. "Our only aim for being here is to serve Guru and Krishna." Immense attachments to Śrīmad Bhagavatam. Śrīla Gurudev loved Śrīmad Bhagavatam. During the time I traveled with him, I saw this, as he worked tirelessly on translating Bhagavad Arka Marichi Mala and Sri Brihad Bhagavatamrita. The previous acharyas reveal Śrīmad Bhagavatam, and Śrīla Gurudeva delighted in their commentaries. When he went to the ocean in Hawaii, he would more or less simply dip in and then return. But when he would enter into the ocean of these commentaries, he would swim there for hours on end. Śrīmad Maharāja would have to invoke some discipline to safeguard Gurudev's physical health. To Śrīla Gurudeva, Śrīmad Bhagavatam was dearer than his own life. According to the Skanda Puran, this is the defining characteristic of a Mahabhagavat. That's a verse from Skanda Puran quoted in Sri Hari Bhaktivedānta 10:33. Direct spiritual perception. What struck me when I first met Śrīla Gurudeva is that he spoke about Shri Radha and Krishna and the residents of Vrindavan not as an idea, but as real people he actually knew. For my whole life, I had been hearing about these topics from people who knew them only as an idea. Śrīla Gurudeva spoke about Shri Radha Krishna differently, with a closeness and detail that comes only from genuine perception. No longer was this a mere exchange of words. One thing I noticed while traveling with Śrīla Gurudeva is how much affection he has for the previous acharyas, such as Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Thakur. He would become so animated speaking about them on their appearance day or disappearance day. This made a big impression on me. Since then, these personalities stopped being merely historical figures. They started to become living personalities in my life. A friend to all. By his nature, Śrīla Gurudeva was always kind to everyone. He was careful never to hurt any creature, not even mosquitoes or poisonous snakes. He never thought of his disciples as his servants. Rather, he saw himself as a servant. Gurudeva always accepted with genuine appreciation whatever we tried to give him with love. He didn't look at the item, but at the intention or mood of the person giving it. Once a lady gave Gurudeva a big, colorful plastic clock. I had carefully cleaned and arranged Śrīla Gurudeva's room at Sri Rup Sanatan Gaudiya Math. I was concerned the large plastic device would disturb the aesthetic balance of the room. But Śrīla Gurudeva immediately accepted the gift with love. He wanted the big clock mounted prominently on the wall. I knew that one should never visit the Guru empty-handed. So one day in Mathura, I brought a small roll of dried figs. I chose the figs very carefully, but looking back, they were hard and of rather poor quality. When I gave them to Gurudev, he accepted them with such relish. He emphasized that they were very helpful. Of all the friends I have had in this life, Guru Maharaj is without doubt my best friend, my only true friend. I know many feel this way. He saw only the best in us. All of Gurudev's disciples think he loved them the best of all. Śrīla Gurudeva once said that this is the characteristic of a true Guru. I spent most of my life actually trying to run away from Śrīla Gurudeva, but he mercifully came after me again and again, trying to bring me to Sri Krishna. I grew up from infancy without a mother. I never speak about it to anyone, but one of the first things Gurudev said to me when I took shelter of him in India as a boy was, "Always remember, I am your mother." Śrīla Gurudeva looked through our physical body. He looked through our false ego, our shortcomings and faults. He looked through our millions of lifetimes of accumulated good and bad activities and saw the soul, an eternal servant of Sri Krishna. Śrīla Gurudeva saw not only this, he saw in that soul our beautiful spiritual form, qualities, and activities, which now exists only as an unexpressed potential. We go around seeking and measuring each other's faults. We define others by their flaws. Gurudev defined us by the highest potential of our soul. Always present. Perhaps The single most important lesson I have learned while trying to serve Śrīla Gurudeva, and which I am still learning, is that our relationship with Gurudev does not depend at all on physical proximity. I can be very close to Gurudev physically, but if my heart is absorbed in material desires, the entire ocean of material existence stands between Gurudev and me. Śrīla Gurudeva taught us that sadhu sangha means to completely follow a sadhu in all ways. If we are a true disciple, if we are following his instructions fully in all ways, there is no separation between us and Gurudev. This is not a relationship bounded by time and space. Śrīla Gurudeva once explained, just as there is no separation between Krishna and the gopis at any time, and yet at the same time they feel separation from each other, so the spiritual master is never separated from the disciple. That's given by Śrīla Gurudeva.
It's 8 o'clock.
However, this is only true if we become a disciple more than in name only. Śrīmad Bhakti Śrīyuktā Goswami Mahārāja explained, a genuine disciple is just as rare as a genuine guru. Only at the time of Śrīla Gurudeva's disappearance can one recognize the actual identity of his disciples. One can then understand who has approached Sri Guru with what intention. If the disciple's heart is not clean, Sri Guru's heart does not reflect in it. Only out of immense fortune does the moon of bhakti that exists in the heart of Sri Gurudev, Mahabhagavat, manifests within the heart of the disciple. From the Upadeshamrita of Śrīmad Bhakti Śrīyuktā Goswami Mahārāja, published in his hands. For those who miss Śrīla Gurudev, there is a way to him, and that is by becoming a true disciple. Throughout the years, I have had many material desires. I still have many. Looking back, I can say that there is no desire, material or spiritual, in my life that Śrīla Gurudeva has not fulfilled, except for one: to be worthy to be called his disciple. Begging for Sri Guru and the Vaishnavas for their kindness, Sundara-gopāla, dāsa. Alright, so I'm going to stop for now. If I get more time today, then I will read Padmanābha Mahārāja's offering, and maybe I can read more also, Shamarani Mataji's and others. But yeah, now it is late and I don't want to miss the whole temple program. So thank you for joining me in this reading. And I'll do a quick Jayavani. Jai Shri Guru Garam Gandharvika Giridhari Shri Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Juki Jai Shri Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Juki Jai Nitil Vishnu Vishnupad Ashtatara Shata Śrīmad Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Narayana Goswami Mahārāja Śrīla Gurudeva Ki Jai Nitil Vishnu Vishnupad Ashtatara Shata Śrīmad Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Vāman Goswami Mahārāja Ki Jai Nitil Vishnu. Sorry, let me start over. I was thinking about something else. Nitil Vishnu Vishnupad Ashtatara Shata Śrīmad Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Narayana Goswami Mahārāja Śrīla Gurudeva Ki Jai Tadiya Shubha Tirobhav Titi Viraha Mahotsav Ki Jai Nitil Vishnu Vishnupad Ashtatara Shata Śrīmad Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Vāman Goswami Mahārāja Ki Jai Tadiya Avirbhav Titi Vyasa Puja Maha Mahotsav Ki Jai Nitil Vishnu Vishnupad Ashtatara Shata Śrīmad Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Swami Mahārāja Śrīla Prabhupada Ki Jai Nitil Vishnu Vishnupad Ashtatara Shata Śrīmad Śrīla Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Mahārāja Ki Jai Nitil Vishnu Vishnupad Ashtatara Shata Śrīmad Śrīla Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki Jai Nitil Vishnu Mahabhagavat Śrīla Gaurkishora Babaji Mahārāja Ki Jai Nitil Vishnu Śrīla Satchidananda Bhaktivedānta Thakur Ki Jai Nitil Vishnu Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Śrīla Jagannath Das Babaji Mahārāja Ki Jai Shri Rupa Nagogoriya Guru Varga Ki Jai Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jeev Gopal Patadash Raghunath Shar Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda Ki Jai Namachaya Śrīla Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Kshetra Mandala, Gora Mandala, Vraja Mandala, Mathura Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Abhinna Vrindavan Shri Navadip Dham ki jai. Sarva Abhishta Bharata Giriraj Mahārāja ki jai. Shri Radhakund Shyamakund ki jai. Shri Yamuna Devi Ganga Devi ki jai. Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki jai. Shri Bhakti Devi ki jai. Shri Purnamasi Yogamaya ki jai. Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev ki jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopi Gan ki jai. Sarva Vrajavasi Gan ki jai. Shri Saprasad Shri Gaur Hari ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shinitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Jai Śrīla Gurudeva ki jai. Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Vāman Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Trivikram Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Shinitai Gaur Premanande Hari Bo. Jai Tulsi Deva Prāṇa-kiśora Krishna Bhakti Padadevi Satyavatai Namo Namaha. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyaiva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Daṇḍavat pranams. So yeah, let's see, maybe around lunchtime I can read again. I will see, I don't know yet, but I'll let you know. How do I let you know? Anyways, I'll just come online whenever. And all these memories, all these homages that I was reading is from gurudevmemories.com. So yeah, you can, there's hundreds actually, literally hundreds of offerings and memories that you can read there. So, all right. Jai Śrīla Gurudev.